Hello and welcome to our first casted scrim. I'm your host Naked, and tonight we have my co-caster Agamemnus and guest caster KitFox. It's decided not to show you guys on cam for some reason, but let me just get that sorted, and you guys can say hi.
Oh, hello. Well, I guess our audience has seen me plenty of times. We've already got some chat happening. 18 viewers right at the start, which isn't too shabby. So anyone who doesn't already know, the red team is going to be Onyx Esports. We've got who I believe is the captain, Grumpshot. AC the Man, Shardstorm, Burnsy and the Fish. On the blue team, we've got UA Eggplant. The captain is Merlin. We also have Crazy Dave, Sporrange, Stokey and Konya. If you've been watching the in-house or have been playing in the in-houses on Mondays, you would have seen every single one of these people around at least at some point over the past couple of months. And of course, Naked mentioned Mr. KitFox himself is here to lend a hand.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. Yeah, it's been fantastic because I'm itching to get my hands on some Heroes of the Storm just because it's been so long since GameStar wrapped up their HGC production. It's been a while since, since Skimmy went away and, became a fully fledged celebrity over there, in both the Western Clash and over at BlizzCon itself. I cannot tip my hat well after Skimmy, so he's going places. So back over to this HotS action, like we said, it's been such a long time. I am frothing. It is going to be Eggplant going up against the Onyx Guild. There's a bit of history going on here. The Onyx guys are actually trying out the member Fish tonight. And Burnsy, AC the Man, Shardstorm and Grumpshot. There's a lot of potential in that side, boys. There really, really is. They've done a lot for the scene. They've done a lot for each other, and they're hoping to take it all the way.
Alright, we've got the cam sorted. They can see your beautiful faces now.
Dirty.
We've got the lobby sorted, so we're good to go in. Eggplant has chosen Dragonshire as the first map of this best of 3. Let's get to it, shall we?
Dragonshire, it's tried, it's tested. It's one of those maps that can either go for an extremely long time, or it can be over relatively quickly if you get the drafts right. I mean, it's going to be all about that point control, boys. That's where it's going to come down to. You're going to have staying potential when it comes to those shrines. You're going to want a good solid heals in the back line. So instantly, heroes like Morales comes to mind. Regar's had a little bit of a nerf. Now Furian's still not bad. But, and the double support meta, guys. I mean, Agamemnus, that is one of the things that has definitely... It's bullied its way into the meta here in the OCE region.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan personally. I mean, it obviously works for a lot of teams because it's done really well recently. But, with the changes, I mean, hopefully it'll fix that up a little bit. Dragonshire is definitely my favourite map out of the entire pool at the moment. I love how that it, sort of forces a little bit of extra attention on the lanes. Top, bottom, you control the mid. If you control any single one lane, the objective can't be taken. And that's not something that's really found on any other map. Blizzard has mentioned some changes with the Hanzo patch, or just after the Hanzo patch, where they're adding a little bit more focus to the laning and changing it up a little bit with the towers and that. But I think Dragonshire is the only map that really delivers it on its own at the moment.
Another one that I like, before we let Naked jump in there, I really like Braxis lately. I know it's that's a controversial choice. Because it's often one of those ones that are banned out or frowned upon whenever anybody dares utter its name. But the first two bans are going to be Sonya and Garrosh. But just back on Braxis, you can extremely snowball that map, and that's what I love. You can send a message to your opponent. It's not just winning the game, it's crushing them morally, especially if it's like a best of 3 or a best of 5 series. That mental edge can just give you an untold advantage.
Yeah, especially if you take it early and absolutely dominate. Break their spirits. I don't mind Braxis at all. You're right, it is controversial. We do have it go up for vote in-house, and people either scream for it or scream against it.
We've had it a few times. We still haven't had a Hanamura win the vote yet.
nobody
But
likes
you know,
Hannibal, right?
maybe one day it'll get the Haunted Mines treatment and come back in all its glory and be a mediocre map. But look, but going back to the double support thing, we've got a task popping up on. I think Red was. Who'd you put on Red? Egg? Onyx or Eggplant?
Onyx or
Yeah,
Red?
Red's Onyx, yeah.
Okay, so Onyx has picked up TAS so far, so they're obviously going to pick up another support. I don't mind the TAS Tyrande with a healer because they've really moved away from that original role of that soul support. But having two big healers and then just one kind of big burst carry, I don't like that meta. I'm glad we're kind of moving away from.
The Wombo combo meta is something that it doesn't really happen much in this game. Often, I like to think back to the season, 1 or 2 days when you'd have the likes of the Jaina nuke prioritized. I mean, now that heroes like Zarya have come into the fold with things like that Graviton Surge, something like the big explosive style plays is something that we sort of miss. I think it's kind of hard to just coordinate 5 guys into one straight away, and you need to be able to catch everybody. And let's not lie, one guy can completely change the tide of that fight. Say, for example, if they're caught out of that Graviton Surge, then the tide can be turned. But back onto these Pix boys, ETC and Uther being locked in. Uther's another one which catches my eye because several patches ago he was not even looked at, and now he is in almost every single competitive game.
Yeah, he's chunky enough to sort of take a little bit of punishment, but still bring through with the heals. The stun comes in pretty handy as well. I've seen some nice Joanna Uther combos where the Joanna will just charge in with an Uther right behind her, and if she can get like 2 or 3 people in her W, Uther will just pick the squishiest one or the main target they want to kill and follow up with an immediate stun afterwards. Because they're both quite chunky, they can take the initial bits of damage and then the team just follows through and your healer's already in there. So Uther's definitely a lot more useful than he was a few months ago.
I think his Divine Shield has always been such a strong ability as well. It really combos well with any abilities that can, like, they have a big payoff, but they can be interrupted. Like, ETC is a classic combo for the Uther. It just comes through that mosh and he's completely uninterrupted.
I want to see what they're going to go for the ban here. Already you can see Eggplant reading what Onyx are doing. With that first pick Tassadar, obviously we called it. It's going to be double support. Malf complements Tassadar superbly. So I love what Eggplant have done here. They're getting in the minds of Onyx now. They know what Onyx are about. And now they're going to force them just to rethink their strategy a little bit. Do we go for the Rehgar? Do we go for that Morales? Or do we go for somebody who has a little bit more utility? Uther off the board. The pickings are not as great as you would hope, but still there's plenty there.
Yeah, without Malf and Uther, it's definitely looking a little bit slim. Tassadar
just thumbing through now. Red team, they've got the ban here. They're going to get rid of Genji because that dive is just... It's incredibly annoying. Genji, just like in Overwatch, you put him on a pro and you just... your jaws drop to the ground. Is that a pro Genji? And him alone can just destroy an enemy team, especially when you have a couple squishies like Tracer, like Tassadar. Yes, the mobility is there, but all Genji has to do is catch you once with a very, very well-timed dash, and then it's GG's for you from there.
He's definitely a very hated character. Also, the Reflect works very nicely against a Tassadar and a Tracer. So getting rid of him is pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Yeah, it's also eliminating some dive potential for the blue team. Tracer with the Tash Shield gives us some much needed health and some lifesteal. We've got Dahaka coming through with Greymane on Eggplant.
Yeah, global pressure. It's utilized on a lot of maps, and especially one like Dragonshire, the ability to cap potentially the top shrine or the bottom shrine and then brush stalk all the way to the other, especially if you go for that drive-by build. I mean, it's nowhere near as strong as it once was. Dahaka has been hit a little bit by the nerf trade. He's battered, he's bruised, but he still does massive, massive amounts in terms of CC, utility, and overall map control.
He's a clever hero. You get a tongue on the Tracer, that's one dead Tracer.
It's all about those in-game sound cues and hearing him coming and knowing when not to run, because he will tongue you out of the bush. If his team's there, they will punish. So we've got the final 2 picks coming through for Onyx.
Let's see what they're going to go for here. They still need another support. Are they going to be choked into Rhaegar? Will they go Morales? They're going to shake it up. And Grumpshot is actually going to go on one of his comfort champions here, Lucio. He loves this guy with a passion and is very, very good at timing those sound barriers. So he's also their shot caller. So I like that pick. Again, just like Overwatch, your Lucio is often your shot caller. That's what Grumpshot's going to be playing. And I'd like to see how the rest of his team can capitalize here. They've got the damage. They've got the front line. Sustainability is there with Malthael and Lucio, Tormented Souls, amp it up in Sound Barrier. I'm liking this with the Tassadar shields as well. Potential Force Wall too. I mean, I don't think he'll go Archon because they do have quite a bit of damage there. But hey, you never know.
A Chromie to round out the Eggplant team. It's a very strong pick, especially the Greymane and the Lockdown from ETC, Uther, and Dahaka. So very strong last pick.
Chrome. I like Chromie as well. One of my personal favourite mages. Shout out to DS Hacky for all the inspiration for not only me as a player, but for everybody in the scene. I'm sure everybody who likes long distance mages and esports is thinking about buying a DS Hacky jersey. But hey, let's get into the game, boys, girls, ladies, gents. Eggplant versus Onyx, best of 3. We're going to go to Dragonshire first off. Agamemnus, who are you picking to take it out first map?
Honestly, I do like Eggplant's comp there. I like the Dahaka. I think he's got, with that global, a lot more utility on this map than a lot of people give him credit for. I do have a bit of a soft spot for Chromie. But you were talking about Hacky. I mean, he was playing with us on Monday, and as soon as he was in a match, Chromie was first ban. If she wasn't, she was picked. So, it was quite entertaining to watch Hacky play some Chromie. Don't know how Crazy Dave's going to go. Crazy Dave is a master level player though, so he might end up turning it around for him. I think that Onyx did get a little bit shaken with the Uther pick taken away from them and the Malfurion pick taken away from them. I think they would have been a little more ideal healers. But I have seen Grumpshot, as you say, play Lucio a fair bit. Have seen some very good sound barriers from him before. So Onyx is definitely not done and dusted here. No. If I had to pick one team, I do like the comp on Eggplant a little bit better. I
am too. How about yourself, Naked?
Look, I do like Eggplant's comp. I'm questioning the damage output from Onyx at this point, just because that Trace is more of a finisher, and Malthael's going to do a lot to the tanks, but taking out the rest of them is going to be a bit tougher.
Already Chromie poking away with those sandblasts. Grumpshot on the offensive as the support. Oh, great Impale coming out there from AC, the man. Chromie whiffing the Dragon Breath, but sandblasts seem to be finding their mark. All up until that one, so 3 out of 4, not too bad. Greymane on that front line, doing work, throwing out the cocktails, having a quick look at the builds. He's going to go for that cocktail build. No real surprise there, Agamemnus.
No, you'll pretty much always see cocktail build on Greymane now.
Got both teams splitting to their lanes. Got a 3v2 happening down bottom. They want those Chromie stacks built up early.
Oh, yeah, especially going for mounting sand as well. So that's an interesting one. Normally you would see Chromies go for something like the Time Walker's Pursuit for that visibility, but regardless, he's going to make it work with that Q build, and it's getting it done at the moment. Crazy Dave is pretty good with the Chromie Qs, must be said. Yeah, he is landing them now in the Time Trap as well. That'll land the Dragon Breath. Grumpshot is in trouble. Konya goes in with the Power Slide, but there's not enough damage there to help him finish it off now. The Shrine phase is on Burnsy on the top, and the rest of Onyx at the bottom. They've got control. Will they be able to take it in the mid? AC is going to try.
He's going to struggle to get it with the Greymane just waiting for him, though. They really need to get a pick in one of the lanes so they can send some reinforcements, I think. Ooh, Trace is in trouble. Yeah, it's knocked back by the Konya and finished off by Crazy Dave.
And I was going to say, good tongue up the top as well from Sporridge, just to make his presence known to Burnsy. So hang on a minute, you want to try out suck here with these souls? I'm going to be in your face, but Burnsy, with that sustain on Malthael, nowhere near as strong as he once was when he first came out, but back down to the bot lane. Crazy Dave is landing and Grumpshot is hurt. So is Fish. Fish is forced to pop the hearth. Grumshot has sick up, so he is going to live. Yeah, I think Fish was okay there. He knew where Crazy Dave was, and Crazy Dave just trying to bait him out of the hearth there.
Yeah, very close sandblast coming in there. I see the man. He's looking low. Merlin getting a bit too close to his tower.
Merlin taking lots of damage, and the follow-up from AC, a bit of a backhand play there. He did take a fair bit of damage, burrowed away, and turned around with an impale to secure the kill. Get it done, son. Getting it done. Time trap down in the bot. It's Shardstorm, Fish, and Grumshot for Onyx. Oracle goes out, but Konya in with the power slide. Crazy Dave comes in to resupport. Fish is in trouble. Phases away just in time before the sandblast can hit him. And now that bottom point is again going to be flipped back over in favor of Eggplant. And all Chromie has to do is just keep spamming these abilities, throw those Dragon Breaths in the gateway, get some siege damage, and maybe a little cheeky retreat as well. All meanwhile, Anubarak's been pinched in mid.
Yeah, I didn't even see it happen. They must have snuck
That was so fast, yeah. Merlin jumped in fast there, caught the latter stages. But, yeah, Merlin on the grey main, he's getting it done. Meanwhile, Konya rotates back down to the bot lane and collects 3 with a power slide this time.
Yeah, I think Onyx is going to find it hard to get onto these points, especially with the burst from Chromie. They're really protecting her well at the bottom, and they're kind of swapping around up top, taking that shrine.
Merlin is in trouble in the mid lane. Shardstorm, AC, the man, and Grumshot coming in. Oh, but he actually manages to get away. Disengage is good. And wow, that was big play there from the Eggplant lads in retaliation there. Now, meanwhile, the Shrine has gone over to said team, but Burnsy is going to flip that one up in the top lane. We have not yet had a DK, ladies and gentlemen. Pulse Bomb goes into Konya, and he walks on the time trap trying to chase down Chromie, and he's going to get melted. See you later. And Onyx, they are struggling now. They are at a one-man disadvantage. The Shrines, although they have got that in their favour, but mid lane is firmly in the grip of Eggplant at the moment.
Yeah, with that wall down now too, it's going to become harder and harder for them to defend it. Both leveled up on talents now, though. I've noticed the Bronze Talons is actually not tickling Tracer at all because she's such a low health pool hero. Just a couple of those Bronze Talons auto attacks from Chromie, they hurt.
Bronze Talons is one of the most underrated talents in the game. You need to be picking Bronze Talons every single time you play Chromie. Just look at the damage it's doing on Fish. Oh, the stun from Stocky. Oh, it was enough. Crazy Dave must be so mad. But Stocky with the hammer of justice, denying Crazy Dave that kill. So a little bit of miscommunication there. Stocky thought he was doing the right thing. Let's not deny that.
Yeah, he was just trying to stop her getting out.
Yeah, the communication just wasn't there, naked.
Yeah, look, we've got a strong concentration of players down bottom. It's a constant 3v3, 2v3 situation going on there. We've got, looks like Merlin and Konya rotating down from middle, trying to secure that shrine. Need to get the drag.
Rotation down now. Merlin's taking a fair bit of damage. Shardstorm recalls away on the Tracer just in the nick of time before the damage combo could come out. Grumshot just making it difficult for Chromie on the Eggplant to land the Sandblast as well as the Dragon Breaths because he's got that speed boost up constantly, only going to heals when he has to. So that's very, very smart. You don't want to give Chromie those stacks, especially when he's picked Mounting Sand at level 1.
Yeah, I guess you just wanted to get that quest done nice and fast, but you're right, Lucio is definitely holding him back there.
We've got both teams even XP so far. It's 3 kills to 1, so very low kill rate so far. AC the man almost hitting that Dragon, Merlin interrupting him mid.
Meanwhile, the Pulse Bomb goes out, in goes the Dragon Breath. Merlin has turned his attention to Shardstorm, baiting out the recall, but those Talons are doing work, and Grumshot comes in with the save. Shardstorm is going to get away. The Shrine in control of Onyx ESports at the moment, but Eggplant are fighting tooth and nail. Crazy Dave, he is stacking up those Qs, currently at 26 out of 60 on the Sandblast talent. Before he gets that Echo, before he gets that multiplied damage, we still have not had a DK yet, boys.
No, it's starting to get on a little bit, but I mean, you know, they've deserved it. Both teams have held.
Loop! Oh, the recall just gets it away in the nick of time. Never loop a Tracer. Recall cancels that. As he just found out, Konya goes in with the Mosh. Grumshot gets caught. He boogies till he dies. And that is very, very well done there from Eggplant. They get 2 frags, and the DK has actually gone over to Onyx, so a little bit of consolation for them there.
Yeah, it was unfortunate there with the Tracer recall. She recalled right behind that force wall of the Tassadars, and it just killed her. Right back to where that Chromie ultimate was going to put her anyway. AC the man copying a bit of damage from 3 of Eggplant in middle. He's backing up to top. Burnsy there to help him.
Well, the DK now rotating up to the top, like you mentioned. Stocky is there on the Uther. Eggplant need to get a rotation on here. They got the frags early on, but they just didn't turn their attention to DK. AC manages to punt Sporridge for the big 6 points all the way back down the lane. But AC is getting no attention here on the DK. And Onyx, even though, like we mentioned, they lost the fight down bot, they've got the siege on. They've taken down 2 sets of towers in 2 lanes. They're going to get themselves a healing fountain here to any second now. AC is going to secure that. But will it be at the cost of his life? He burrows out. Merlin just whiffing the cocktail there. Meanwhile, Lucio gets taken down back into the mid lane. Crazy Dave has had the distance closed on him there by the Tracer. But the recall is good. Back on top of a time trap, but no damage. All good.
Yeah, Shardstorm's doing pretty well against this Tracer. It's hard to hit a Tracer as Chromie just because of her mobility, those blinks in any direction.
Ooh, little camp still down here.
There is going to be a steal in the bot lane.
Yeah, he's going to see it.
Oh, Tassim with the force wall, the siege camp. Oh no, he's been hit by the power slide and into the face melt. Forces out the phase shift to get away. AC just throws out the impale, the cheeky impale, but Eggplant going to secure that camp. Meanwhile, the Onyx Esports boys answer back with the camp of their own. Knights are marching down the top lane. Burnsy doing a good job up there at the solo, just to juke it out with Sporridge. Meanwhile, Eggplant down in bot. They're going to turn their attention to this tower. They're going to try siege this one down, but Onyx are there to retaliate and are dodging all the Chromie shots that they can throw at them here. All of a sudden, Crazy Dave's just not finding the mark.
Yeah, it's hard when he doesn't have the cover. He does kind of telepath where he's going to shoot.
Oh, there we go. Just you mentioned not finding the mark. Konya goes in with a fantastic power slide mosh combo, and Crazy Dave was able to land a double dunk, gets himself a double kill in the end. Fish gets away with a well-placed force wall, but hey, that is what we're talking about. That's the excitement you want to see from Chromie.
Maybe they've got a bit of an opportunity to catch up on the siege here. Nobody down bot lane, but it is only Chromie and she's had to go back from mana. So it looks like Eggplant, they were thinking about top, but now they're heading back down to mid. What do you reckon they're going to do next?
Look, stream, I've just adjusted the microphone volumes. Please tell us how they're going.
All good. We want to hear your lovely voice. Apparently, Ag is a little bit quiet. Get chirpy, son, because this game is popping off. And as we say that, Shardstorm closes the gap. Oh, the Dragon Breath catches out Grumpshot, and he gets deleted like a questionable browser history. And Onyx Esports are struggling now. They've got no healer. They've got a Tassadar to keep them alive, and they are staring down the barrel of it. A 5-man Eggplant push in the bot lane. The Haka can join them anytime he wants.
Yeah, without that Lucio, they're just going to slowly drop down. I mean, Tassadar can try and block some damage with the shields, but doesn't have any healing power. Their health bar's just getting lower and lower and lower. AC man now at the point where a good Chromie strike will take him out.
Ooh, Fish. Fish is getting away. Oh, Merlin, he's hungry. He wants those kills. Now, Dave, starting to land a couple more Qs. Oh, whiffs that one on Grumpshot, but he's not too far away from the Echo now. Only 10 more hits. And it's not too bad. He's at level 15. I often find you get it around the level 16 talent mark. And if you can land it there, boys, you're doing all right on the Chromie, I think.
Yeah, look, Eggplant's doing well. They're pulling ahead in XP now, 2 levels up. They're almost going to be a talent up on Onyx in a second. It's really going to be to their advantage in this upcoming.
Now, all of a sudden, the rotation has gone on the top lane. There's a pincer approach coming here from Eggplant. Onyx need to be careful not to get caught out. The rotation coming from mid. Crazy Dave in a very good position there on Chromie. Throws out the Dragon Breath, but the stun again coming out. This is where Burnsy comes into his own. He's got himself a sound barrier and Tormented Souls up. And Eggplant are hemorrhaging here. Great force wall coming out there from Fish. And that distortion beam slowing everybody down. But the heals are very, very good from Eggplant. Konya late to the party. Party comes in with the mosh pit, but the heals again, good from both of these guys. Tracer is the first one to fall. Eggplant with the advantage. Crazy Dave forced to sandblast on top of him. Malthiel now taken out of the fight. They answer one back and get to Haka, but Onyx with 2 men down, they are struggling. Crazy Dave carving them up like a Sunday roast. AC the man is going to go down now as well. Impale catches 3, and Crazy Dave is the one to come around and throw out those bronze talons. Onyx now on the back foot.
Yeah, it was a great fight from Onyx there. They're really struggling their level advantage on Team Eggplant. They were struggling to get that damage against extra health.
Yeah, and they were a talent down during that fight, so, I mean, definitely a bit of a struggle. I thought the cocoon from a Nubarak was nicely timed. I was suspecting the ETC ulti there, but it didn't actually cancel it, so he just had it again when he came out of the cocoon. They pushed Eggplant back to the tower, split the team up, but once ETC came out, they all just went back in together. No one really got eliminated while they were a man down, so Eggplant could just come right back into the fight.
I think Onyx has just realised the Dragon is pushing through bottom lane, they're backing up, but not before a fair bit of damage is going to occur down.
So that's where Onyx, that is one criticism I have of Onyx. When the game goes on and they start to get behind a little bit, they get rattled and they sort of lose their vision. They come in with a great game plan and they are fantastic drafters. But you saw there, they didn't realise DK was in the bottom lane, and that's just something they need to work on, because now they've lost Burnsy, one of their primary team fighters, and without Malthiel, they are really going to struggle. The DK is a level 18 one. Konya marching down, hacking away at the fish, trying to make sushi up here, up on the Dragonshire. Grumshot now into the sound barrier. Konya goes in, power slide. Grumshot just sound waves him away. Eggplant are trying to finish this one here. I don't think they have the damage. They haven't got the health pool, and they're going to pull the pin and retreat. No, they're not. Hang on a minute. Mosh Pit goes in. They've completely blindsided everybody here, and 3 quick frags have turned this fight on its head. The fish is the only one left, and poor Onyx Esports are going to struggle here. They're going to lose map number 1 to Eggplant. It is a best of 3 series, but Dragonshire, in the end, convincingly going to Eggplant.
Wow, I mean, I think everybody thought they were going to walk away there. Crazy Dave had very, very little mana, and their health bars were looking moderately unhealthy. But yeah, the Merlin jumped onto, I think it was Tracer. And once she got the Tracer down, ETC started the mosh pit on another 2. And those 3 picks, I mean, that was it.
Yeah. I honestly thought they were going to run away from that fight, and they were very, very low, but that mosh pit must just come straight back up. I wasn't watching the timers up in the top screen, but Konya, with those timings, I think he caught at least 2 players with every single mosh pit, and that is value for your ETC right there.
Yeah, if you can catch 2 players and your team can kill them, that's solid. I mean, everybody loves a 5-man mosh. Everybody wants to see a 5-man mosh, but you are doing it right if you get 2 kills out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a solid lead. 2 kills is a very solid lead. You just need you need to know when to do it, and your team needs to know when to back you up with it as well.
I think we saw a good classic draft from Eggplant. We had a bit of alternative draft from Onyx this game, I think. The Malthiel counters the 2 warriors, but they just didn't have the damage there to get any picks, and that really hurt them at the end of the game when they were 3 levels down.
They got out drafted as well, like I mentioned. As soon as they insta-locked Tassadar for the first pick, Eggplant were able to read them like an open book. They knew that the double support was going on, and then the Eggplant guys banned away the Malfurion and insta-locked Uther as their first pick. They denied Onyx right from the get-go, and normally Onyx are fantastic drafters. It forced them onto their comfort picks, so let's not lie. Grumshot on the Lucio is very comfortable, but he got caught a few times, and Crazy Dave just played a fantastic chromie. So we're going to go into game number 2 very shortly. Agamemnus, do we have a break?
Yeah, look, one thing that we do often do is we like to try and pick an MVP from our matches. Just to help out with the egos there and award them a couple of shop credits. So, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I think Crazy Dave did an amazing job, but I feel like the ETC won it for them. I mean, neither of them had any deaths, but I just felt like those ETC moshes were quality enough to enable them to win the team fights.
It was a long time until that first dragon, like 8 or 9 minutes, and like even if he got a single man mosh, like they got those picks to kind of start the snowball off and get that that pressure they needed on Onyx and really push through to get to that end. So yeah, I'd agree with Konya. He did a great ETC, had great positioning, and as you said, the moshes were great and enabled his team to get those picks. What do you think, Kit?
I'm gonna have to agree, but I mean, I'm a sucker for Chromie. I love a good Chromie, and Crazy Dave played fantastically. I honestly thought that he was going to go for Slowing Sands as opposed to Temporal Loop, having gone for the Sands talent at level 1, but hey, he made it work, and I'm happy for him. But like you said, Konya, he enabled those fights, and when he came in, you could see that the rest of the team, they just were shot with adrenaline, the invigoration, because having that big beefy ETC on the front line doesn't just offer you protection. He comes in with a mosh pit, and then you just collapse. It's GG from there. Like we saw at the very, very end, they were struggling. Konya came in, said, hey guys, daddy's here, and just won them the game. They closed it out right there. Didn't have another push. There wasn't another DK needed. So I agree. Konya, MVP. Well done.
Well played, Konya.
All right, well, let's take 5 minutes and set up the next lobby.
So I have to ask KitFox, what do you think of the upcoming changes? So we've got the stealth, we've got the overall support nerf, we've got the tower changes. What else do we have? Changing everything
like
for
the
20.
regen globes.
Yes.
I like the regen globes change. That is going to be so interesting, especially for talents that require regen globe gathering. I think that change alone is going to change metas, because often you wouldn't go for the globe talent on, say, Battlefield of Eternity, for example, because there's not many choices for globes, but you would on, Garden of Terror or Spider Queen or something like that, for example. So I think you're going to see a lot more globe talents come in.
Yeah, even
definitely.
on Braxis, like instead of getting 2 every 40, 60 seconds, you could potentially get 3 and really finish those quests within under 10 minutes.
I think a little bit of second level logic's going to apply as well. It's not going to, at the moment, nobody I know really thinks about denying globes, not as much as I think, could be done. But I think once everyone knows that, the enemy team's going to grab your globes as well, a lot more people are going to be taking globe quests. The whole concept of maybe we should actually try and prevent the collection of these globes is going to be a little bit more prominent.
It's going to be good. I don't think the stealth changes. I mean, you're going to see a lot less stealth in quick play, which I think is fantastic. But that's nothing major, really, on the stealth thing. I mean, when do you see stealth heroes in high-level esports? You don't really. You might see a Valera every now and then, but Tyrande with her ult, that's really the only times.
I think their reasoning behind that was the good players are going to see the stealth anyway. Will help the newbies out, let them not have a eye test on the map constantly for 20 minutes. But the good players that play Nova, Zeratul, Valera, those kind of heroes, I think they'll really shine. Like I think they've tried to buff them in a way that rewards for positioning, I guess you'd say. So they're setting up an ambush. They know where they're going. They're predicting that, and they can really open up on someone and get a pick.
I'm excited for future HotS. I actually think Hanzo would be pretty good. I'm excited. He's very similar to Varus, and on maps like Cursed Hollow or Towers of Doom, or even Infernal Shrines, that Dragon Strike looks nasty. I reckon that could be the start of the Wombo meta, like we're talking about. Like, you don't see it often, but Zaya Hanzo, man, That could destroy a team.
Hanzo, Jaina Hanzo. There's definitely some combinations there.
Mm.
We've got Ardra in chat nominating, technically nominating KitFox, but actually nominating Konya for quote of the year with Daddy's here. I like it. Definitely going to clip it.
In reference to who? To Daddy Aggie? Or?
Oh, really? Really? You just that again?
Look, I think we're good to go for game 2. It is Onyx's pick this time, so they've chosen to go with Cursed Hollow. So, you guys ready to get into that?
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
I think maybe some power to pause might come in handy, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks, Zach. Look,
I'm sure you were going to do it anyway.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. I was just testing you, mate. Just testing you. It is Grump Shot for the banner, correct?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a separate captain banner, whatnot. All right, cool.
I know.
Let's get in.
Grandpa Grump Shot is going to be calling the shots. Shout out to everybody in chat, by the way. 40 viewers for pretty much an exhibition match. Thank you so much. Seriously. That's fantastic. I'm loving what you guys are doing here too at the Unreal Aussies community. Thank you so much for having me on. Everybody's been fantastic.
Thanks, KitFox. We love having you here.
Awesome. Let's do it. It is game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Eggplant currently have got themselves a 1 map advantage, defeating their opponents Onyx Esports on Dragonshire, and it was a very old-fashioned brawl. It really, really was. It was, a 9-minute DK or something like that, but now we're going to go over to Cursed Hollow. Let's see if we can get the curse just a little bit quicker.
Word on the street is that this is Onyx Esports' most favourite map. So, definitely a different play style. Like I was describing with Dragonshire, control any single lane and the objective is denied, right? Cursed Hollow, very, very different. It's a team fight at the location of the tribute, and whoever comes out on top is going to get the tribute. And the Garrosh ban.
We've got the ETC ban.
Of course.
The Konya ban. Let's be honest. It's the Konya ban.
The Konya ban. Targeted. MVP. And, with Garrosh off the board as well, and the insta-lock Sonya, do you think the Onyx banned Sonya last game? So interesting to know that they're actually picking her up this time, but like you mentioned, Konya is not going to have as much value as you would have hoped. I don't know about the ETC targeting ban, just because Mosh Pit is so easily countered. A Tychus Q, a Morales Q, anything that displays, Alarak W, anything that you could throw in there is just so easily countered. But by that stage, poor Onyx pretty much had their draft locked in because Eggplant countered them so well. So it's going to be up to them to bring this one back. Will Grumpshot go back on that Lucio, or will he try to go for the Malfurion? Have they learnt their lesson? Are they going to go for the double support a little bit later on this time? We're just waiting for the Eggplant lads to lock in their first 2 picks. Garrosh off the board, no surprise there. Oh, hang on a minute! I love this. I love this. Cursed Hollow is one of those maps where Mind Build can wreak havoc. I've never seen a Mind Build in a competitive professional match, but man, we could see it here. Symbiote as well. This is not really a map for the push build. Yes, it can give you a slight advantage, but you really want to be fighting for those control points, because you can have 5 out of the 6 points, but if you're not winning those towers, all it takes is one team fight because of that Abathur. And if he does go push build, you're going to be coming in with 4 versus 5, and you would expect Onyx to have the wind up every single time after that.
Yeah, the nature of the objective definitely cancels or negates push build a little bit. He can still soak if he goes mind build.
Oh yeah,
he'll still be getting the XP from a separate lane. So he can take advantage of that factor of Abathur. He can be hatting people, placing mines everywhere, without going push build at all, and still take advantage of being in a separate lane. So I think that's probably the go-to approach here. But who knows? These guys, Crazy Dave.
Well, it's interesting having TAS as a second pick, so I'm wondering if they're going to forego a traditional support entirely just because of that Abathur symbiote. We do have Onyx picking up Greymane this time, denying it from Eggplant. I don't think we'll see a Chromie this time. It's a bit of a more open map, despite their...
We could see an Illidan, though. Blame us is calling it in the chat. I'm feeling it, too. I mean, the vibes are good. Illidan to jump on that, it could come out, but do Onyx have anybody to play it? I mean, if they were to take that away from Abathur here, like, this needs to be an Illidan ban or an Illidan pick next, because a symbioted Illidan or even a Valor, there's so much potential. So much potential for Eggplant here with that Abathur. And we talked a little bit about stealth in that 5-minute break, boys. This is where somebody like Nova or Valera, could I dare say it, are we talking stealth in competitive HotS? It could happen, can neutralize that Abathur if Abby tries to go for the body soak.
Yeah, it definitely could. Definitely depends what Abathur picks up on talents as well. If they do happen to pick a Zeratul or a Nova, you might even see a Mind Build come out.
There we go. There we go. They read that one well.
They're reading the Twitch chat.
You guys have got a delay, haven't you?
Yeah, it was 2 minutes.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. They know what they're doing. Yeah, look, we talked about Onyx before, how they are a good drafter. They would have read that. But, like I said, there's still Valor. You could even put a Tychus in there. There's so much potential for Abby to come into his own. And even if for some reason Eggplant don't do that, they could throw all their eggs into that mine basket. There it is. Valor's going to be locked in. So I like what they're doing here. Again, it starts in the draft. It's that game of mind chess that the teams play between each other here. Eggplant beat Onyx on that line last time, but I think this time Onyx with that Illidan ban. Oh, Jesus.
They're picking up that Morales.
I don't know now. This is nice. Tas Morales, that double support with the Valor Abathur. I like it. But if you kill either Morales or Valor, Onyx are ruining the chance here. They're going to have to prioritize their targets here.
Yeah, it's very dependent on what Abathur goes, whether full push, or more of a buff, a single hero. They're going for that Morales stim. Abathur buffs passively, and that lifesteal and extra shield from Tastar and the Val.
Yeah, it's looking very Valor-centered right there. The thing is, Onyx does have Greymane and Sonya. If they want to, they can jump Morales. They can bust through.
Yeah, it's a very strong dive comp. They've all got some method of jumping through the Eggplant team. Depends if Johanna picks up Falling Sword. We've got Brightwing coming through as the second support for the Onyx team.
Global.
Yeah, Global very handy on this map.
I don't mind it. That would be to counter Abby's Locusts, I would think, or just come in when the team needs him. Brightwing's going to be sitting down there throwing out those flares, trying to push as much as he can. Doesn't have as much of effect as somebody like, say, I would have liked to see a Nazebo come out on this map, because Cursed Hollow is one of those ones where you can land those big, meaty zombie walls, and either if you go for, any build is viable on Nazebo, Toad's Wall or Spiders, he's good. He's very, very good, and there's room for that here on Eggplant at the moment. I feel like they could use a little bit more damage just in this lineup. He got that Abathur, Valor, and the Morales stem. They're going to go for a tank here, so that is okay. They did need that. They do need a tank. They do need a tank.
They do need a tank for that Valor Morales.
But I'm worried about the Valor. I'm worried about it though.
She's vulnerable. She's there's no mistaking it. She's vulnerable, and even if they take out the Morales, Valor might still do plenty of damage. She might still have a bit of self-heal with the Tassadar. But if anyone jumps the Tassadar, he's going to use his E to get away. And then all they've got to do is turn on somebody else. There's only going to be two other choices. It's Valor and Morales. So, Muradin's going to have to do a great job of defending. Abathur's going to have to do a great job of mining and using the symbiote. I do think, Valor centered. It is, with the shield from Tassadar and the shield from the symbiote, plus maybe a bit of attack speed, lifesteal, and then of course the stim from Morales. She could be an absolute powerhouse, but it only takes sort of one of them to get taken out for the whole sort of, the House of Cards to just come tumbling down.
I mean, the other build that Eggplant could have gone for here is the blind build. They could have gone, for the likes of Cassia, for the likes of Artanis, Lily as well, because Onyx, having a look at their lineup, they are very, very physical attack melee centric as well. I mean, so Eggplant here, they had options. They had options, and they've gone with this one. They've gone with the Protect the Valor, the glass cannon build. Ag, do you think it'll play off for them?
Honestly, I don't know. It's going to depend on how well Sporange can protect her, I think. That's really what it's going to be. I'd be interested to see what Tassadar does with his ulti. The wall is an excellent method of protection, but they are lacking a little bit of damage. If they get split, if anything goes wrong, they will be lacking damage. So the Archon, I mean, it's a decent substitute for it. Not that it doesn't gain a massive buff from Stim Drone anyway. So I guess we'll just have to see how it plays out. I can't pick it at the moment.
Both teams got the same idea, push down early tower and wall. They have found Konya down bottom. It was a good pick up on that Johanna. If they shut down that Valor, there's not much Team Eggplant can really do.
So it looks like the two teams are just going to go for the siege down build here at the moment. Konya needs to be careful. He did have the free reign as the ETC last round. This time he's on Abathur and forced to deep tunnel away down into that mid lane because Bot is getting run down, bull rush down. Meanwhile, top, exactly the same thing on Eggplant side.
Yeah, look, Onyx has started pulling ahead already. They didn't have that presence in mid getting that soak up. There is almost a half level difference already, but we might see a bit of difference here once these forts drop. Both teams getting around the same time. Even XP again. We've got the Abathur in mid. Still no one from Eggplant down bottom. We've got that Brightwing presence up top. Looks like they're rotating down now to mid.
Yeah, it really isn't that much difference. Maybe half a level. So I'd say Eggplant probably missed maybe 2 minion waves mid. Maybe only just one, but then maybe another 2 down bot after Abathur left. So, it doesn't look like they're too far behind. Oh, they're going all the way up to the wall of the keep there. Sporange is still taking the tower damage.
What are Onyx doing? What are Onyx Esports doing? They need to answer this in the top lane. They've got Sonya in bot sieging by herself. You've got Grumshot and Shard just taking the giant camp in the bottom lane. They need to answer this because as soon as Merlin gets the attack speed boost from Abathur Symbiote, it's going to be over from there. Adrenal Overload has been picked. Finally, the answer comes from Onyx Esports. AC comes in with the glaring shield, but they've lost their keep towers and the gate. I feel like that was way too slow.
Yeah, they got a bit distracted down in bottom lane. They were umming and ahhing. There were about 3 different places at once, and then they decided to come up, but it was a bit too late. Fortunately, didn't get to the keep and have a 2.5 minute keep. That would have been devastating, but we'll see what happens once this first tribute goes through. It looks like Eggplant is giving it.
It's only the first tribute. It's only just the first tribute, and already Onyx Esports have lost 2 of their keep towers, and Eggplant have lost 1. So it's clear that Onyx do not want to engage Eggplant here until they are a sufficient level. They are losing this level 1 fight, and they know, these early level fights, and they know that. They do not want to deal with this stimmed Valor, but they need to get level 10 before Eggplant do, because if they do that, Abathur's going to get the clone, and Crazy Dave's going to get stim. And then it's GG from there. Once the clone's down, Adrenal Overload is going to do the rest. And if they can't stop that Valor, Eggplant are going to mow them down.
Burnsy realizes they're rotating on. He's going to try and pour it out. Is he going to get there in time? Merlin! Oh! That was close.
He did get away in the end there. It kissed his ghost in the end. You can see the little hologram that he left there just copped the brunt of that hungering arrow. So well done to get away there. But the boss now is going to be taken in from Onyx. Interesting play.
Yeah, they're trying to get back some of that push from that top lane. Not worry about defending it for a while. We've got Eggplant picking up that bruiser camp on the bottom mid lane. So
There we
Onyx
go.
finishing and getting that trip.
Quite typical of them actually on this map. They like their 4-minute boss. I think a couple of people were talking about it in the chat before, but we've seen it in-house a couple of times. They rush it, especially with characters like Rhaegar, Greymane, and I've forgotten who the other one was now. Sonya.
They're rotating on Eggplant's boss now.
This is smart. This is smart play from the Onyx Esports guys here. They know that they can't win the team engager, so they're going to go and try for their map control. By taking their own boss, they force Eggplant to answer that. And that just leaves their bottom boss completely open. So Onyx here, they're going to soak up that EXP. They're going to get the bosses marching in both lanes. They're not going to get much from the top one. But the bottom one now, not only does that get it marching down the bot lane, that denies Eggplant their own boss. So now Eggplant, all of a sudden, they're going to find themselves behind you. Now, Onyx can just split soak here, get level 10, and should they get 10 before their opponents do, they can get a cheeky drop and maybe a sneaky keep.
Yeah, the keep is pretty vulnerable. The towers are down.
Yeah, we'll see the split focus here from Eggplant. They've got the third tribute for the curse, but they've got to deal with that bottom lane boss. Onyx now half a level in front. They're going to get their ultimates before Eggplant.
And a trib. This is great play from Onyx here. I'm loving it. This is a completely different game. It's not a scrap heap. It's not. It's a different. It's like a test match of HotS. They're not playing the short, sharp version. They're playing the long game here. And now, for the first time in this entire game with Curse, they're deciding to push. Boss is still there, and like we said, boys, they're going to match and collapse on this bottom one. Valor has been taken down, and that is all the damage gone from Eggplant. Onyx playing this one superbly.
Yeah, once the Valor goes down, there's not a lot Eggplant can do about this now, is there? I mean, you know, that's a Muradin walking around with a symbiote on him. There's only so much he can get out of it.
There we go. So they've hit level 10. That XP advantage flowing into their favor. And already, Onyx, they've got that bottom keep. They're going to take the mid tower as well. Top is going to fall. And already, Onyx find themselves with a 9 to 11. They did have a 2-level advantage, but now it's only 1. Soon to be 2 again. They're in a prime position here.
Looks like they're going to rotate, get those camps on the Onyx side of the map. That boss is 2 minutes from spawn up the top. Bottom is 3 minutes away, so we'll see if they rotate on there when that spawns.
Yeah, as much map control as possible right now. I suggest, well, I mean, that's what they're doing. If they can hit level 13 soonish, they might be able to time the talent advantage for the next tribute spawn and try and take it from there.
So now the camp's just going to be traded up. Eggplant are going to take their siege golems and, giants. Onyx are going to do that the exact same. They're going to get it marching. The macro game, well in control with Onyx here at the moment. Like we said, they popped that Valor, and that is GG. They need to protect Merlin here, do Eggplant. Merlin needs to position himself, though, because here come Onyx. They can see where he is. They've got all map controls. They've got all of the watchtowers. They've got most of the camps, apart from one knight and one siege camp. And they're in the driver's seat here. They need to be careful. They need to rotate as a unit and not get picked.
Seeing both teams kind of scouting each other out here. That site coming up. Do have Abatha trying to deal with that bottom lane. He's notoriously bad for taking out Merc camps in lane, depending on what build he goes.
Who's going to have to do Ultimate Evolution here as well. The team fight's about to break.
There we go, the Psionic Storm goes in from Tassadar. Sporro trying to close the gap there with the Dwarf Toss, but Johanna is in a good position. Iron Skin popped out by AC the man, and that is going to be down for this fight, so that will allow things like the Rain of Vengeance to come in, like the Displacement Grenade, the EMP Grenade from Crazy Dave, and now here come Eggplant, but in go Onyx! They hurl themselves in Bernsey there with a fantastic Fantastic leap there from Sonya, closing the distance, but Crazy on the Morales is just taking the damage. Meanwhile, Abathur in the bot lane has been mown down by minions, and here go Onyx. They don't need Morales. They've got all the pushing power that they need. Bot lane is falling with 2 ballistas as well as Siege Giants, and Crazy Tape loving this 4v5. This is what I spoke about, guys. In the fights, you're going to come into them 4 versus 5, and poor old Eggplant, that's where they're losing this one. Onyx, the smart play here. That's very smart. They didn't actually get a keep from that, but they got a lot of damage, just soaking up the advantage again. Now they go back to the tributes, playing
and they're getting that top boss. That top boss is up. That bottom boss has another 30 seconds on it, enough time to get that that top one and rotate down. Eggplant still trying to defend those lanes, especially that bottom one with that rat. Still a level and a half lead here from Onyx, so doing really well, keeping that XP lead. Brightwing getting caught out here up top. The fish is in trouble. His team's coming back to back him.
Oh, great cleanse coming out there. Oh, and even better Ancestral from Grumshot, and Burnsy just whirlwinding his way in that front line, soaking up all those heals like a leech. Muradin gets popped, and the front line has been taken out from the side of Eggplant. Morales has been dropped as well. That boss is doing work. Konya, it's on the Abathur with that ultimate evolution. He morphed the Muradin there. Not too sure about that one. Probably was aiming for Merlin, but hey, the big chunky dwarf was in his face. Burnsy connects with a poison spear. But regardless, the Onyx Esports lads are continuing this steamroll. This is dangerous. This is extremely dangerous here. Their map control game is nothing like I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a second keep here. The tribute's up, but they probably don't really need it. If they get another pick here, just one key pick, it's going to give them the advantage they need to go all the way to the core, I think.
Or AC catches 2 with the Condemn, forces out the Iron Skin, because the respawns are good for you from Eggplant. Boss should be able to deal with this top keep while the fight goes on. Onyx just need to be careful. Shardstorm on the Grey Mane, very, very low. Stocky gone for the Archon, as opposed to the Force Wall. But it'll be enough. Onyx forced it into a retreat. They don't want to give themselves up here. They're not staying too long, not being greedy. And they're going to take the trib. Then they'll probably rotate down to the bottom, and they probably steal Eggplant's boss here, because the minions in the bottom lane are doing their work for them.
Yeah, it's tough. Those 2 cutters are almost coming through on that bottom lane. They're going to defend it now.
Here they go. Marching down.
Onyx rotating down to that bottom boss. Stocy and Sporange taking that top siege camp. Got a 2-level gap.
They know what's up. They know what's happening.
And the boss going to be taken here from Onyx, and now Eggplant into the retaliation. They read it, and Tassadar throws out that Oracle. They know exactly what Onyx are up to. Will they try for the steal? No, they're just going to give it up. Sponge, way too late! Way too late! He gets polymorphed! He is in a world of hurt here. Throws the Avatar out. Great Blessed Shield coming out there from Johanna. Merlin has got the Stim Drone on him, but Muradin has been popped. And here go Onyx Esports. Burnsy whirling away there on that front line. They could end it right here. Is that their win condition? They've got the boss. It's marching in. One more frag here surely would secure them the victory. Will they get Crazy Dave? No. He just manages to get away. Ancestral comes in. Gives Burnsy a much needed replenishment there on the front line. But he is suffering a little bit. Now goes back, throws out the poison spear, connects boss, going hammer and tongue. Crazy Dave gets dropped, and that surely will be game number 2. Going over to Onyx Esports, they're chipping away at the core. If they can get Merlin, that will be GG. Rain of Vengeance is a complete miss. They need to turn their attention to the damage dealer. Poison spear is going to get him. No, just manages to get back in the base, but does not matter. Onyx answer it back, 1 apiece in this best of 3, and we have got a game on our hands. That was one of the best Cursed Hollow plays I've ever seen.
That was some sensational work. It's going to be interesting because I think they're changing Cursed Hollow and Warhead Junction, other maps with 2 bosses, so that when one boss gets capped, the other one will disappear. So I'm actually really interested to see how Onyx copes with this, because they're famous for their Cursed Hollow plays. And, I mean, with a bit of luck, they're going to be at the forefront of the new plays on Cursed Hollow, because that was sensational. And if they keep practicing, it's only going to get better.
Having a look at the damage for Eggplant, it was all in the Valor basket, as we knew it would be. 34k hero damage, 90k siege damage, and just looking at the stats, just on paper, you can see they only got 1 kill, and it was just too heavy. Valor clearly does not lift, and was unable to carry the rest of Eggplant.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. AC the man picking that Johanna, the perfect blind against that Valor. And just allowed Onyx that time to get into Eggplant and cause some havoc. It was a bit of an interesting pick going the Abathur. Obviously one of the best maps for an Abathur, just doing the push build, just because the map's so huge and it's hard to rotate on him without him knowing. But he's gone for the full buff build for the Valor. They've centered their entire team around that Valor, and they didn't have any mages or any other characters to deal that damage. All their eggs in one basket, and unfortunately it didn't pay off for Eggplant this time.
I think they would have liked to have gone the Illidan, but Onyx were just too smart and were able to read it. As soon as you locked Abathur, Eggplant did exactly what Onyx did in game number 1. Onyx locked Tassadar in first pick. That says, boom, we're going to go straight for the double support. And then Eggplant, game number 2, they lock in Abathur straight away. That is almost a dead set gimme for an Illidan. And again, it was just being able to read. So Eggplant, they've got one up over Onyx. Onyx have got one up over Eggplant, as is the scoreboard. So game number 3, guys, do we know what it's going to be yet?
We do not know the map yet. Both have picked a map so far, so I think we'll... Look, why don't we go... Who's got a coin? We'll do a coin toss for the last map.
Why don't we put it to the viewers?
Oh, we can put it to the viewers. Psycho, are you able to put up a map for the final match? So, sorry, just going back to that scoreboard. MVP for the match.
Yes.
It's a difficult one, because all the stats and the big numbers are on the side of Eggplant. The damage, the heals, I mean, they were pretty good, it must be said, but everything else was on Onyx, but it was more of a team effort. Not once were they split up. They rotated as a team, they took bosses as a team, they engaged in team fights as a complete unit, and that's where they came out on top. Eggplant, the Abathur build kind of cost them there, so I don't think we'll be seeing something like that again from them coming into the next round. But we'll get the vote out to the Twitch chat. What do you want to see? Hey, we'll cast it. I know you'll love hearing it. Will it be Braxis? Will it be, oh god, Hanamura? Do we... No Haunted Mines, please. No Haunted Mines. I don't know. Throw it out there, guys. Egg, what are you hoping for?
Well, I reckon we offer them 3 different options. So I don't mind a bit of Infernal Shrines. I don't mind a bit of Braxis. We've already played Dragonshire, which is my other favourite map.
How about Shrines, Braxis, Temple?
Yeah, right.
Let's do it.
There you go. Is Psycho still in chat? I'm not sure.
No, I've got it here, though. I should be able to do it.
Oh, you've got the command? Pull it up.
Infernal Shrines, Sky Temple. What was the other one? Braxis.
Oh, yeah. Could make for some interesting builds. Could make for some interesting nights. Could make for entertaining HotS.
Valid.
Oh my goodness.
New. Poll new, then.
Nightbot says no.
Round 2, round 2.
There we go.
Hey, vote away, guys. Go for it. You're going to hear this in 2 minutes when we close the poll anyway.
All right, ladies and gents, we'll spin a few yarns while you get yourself onto that straw poll. It is going to be between Braxis, Infernal Shrines, and Sky Temple for map number 3. This tiebreaker round, because Eggplant and Onyx currently at 1 apiece. If you have just joined us, and a big shout out to everybody watching in the Twitch chat there. 40 viewers, not bad for an exhibition match. If you did just join us, the Eggplant crew actually got the win over Onyx Esports on Dragonshire for map number 1 and game number 2. Just then, Eggplant going for a questionable build, it must be said, didn't pay off for them. Onyx coming back with the victory, leveling up the series at 1 apiece there on Cursed Hollow. And now we have got the chat poll going on. You can have a vote. Who will it be? What map will these two teams throw down on? And it looks as though Braxis is getting a lot of love in the chat.
Did we settle on an MVP in the end there?
No, we did not.
You know what? Look, it
was a very team play.
Yeah, it was a very team-oriented play. But I feel like there were just a couple of those leap-ins from the Sonya and the Poison Spear that I think, that just sort of swung it that little bit harder. I mean, don't get me wrong, JoJo was doing the job. Rhaegar had one really good ancestral heal, at least. It really was a team game. If I had to go for somebody, I feel like I just want to go for the Sonya. Who was that? That was Burnsy, yeah?
Burnsy,
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He was always there. He was keen for a fight, and look, they came out on top in the.
Let's give it to him, Burnsy. You've earned it, my friend, my big bearded friend. Congratulations, MVP for game number 2. And it looks, what's the poll looking like?
Look, Infernal Shrines currently on 12. Yeah, look, Infernal Shrines by a long shot at this stage. We'll give it another 30 seconds though.
I'm going to look at the results. So far, poor Sky Temple. Why Sky Temple? It doesn't even go here.
Give it a vote. Let it have one pat on the back.
Nothing for Sky. I think Shrines has got it, guys.
Wow.
I think it's Shrines. Yeah, let's do it. Let's build up that lobby. I think it is going to be Infernal Shrines for game number 3. And that opens up the door for another one of my personal favourite heroes, the Gul'dan.
Yes, I used to be a massive fan of the old Gul'Daniel, but I think since the Overwatch heroes came in, and it really put me off him all of a sudden.
Is it because they're just ridiculously mobile?
Yeah,
auto attack.
Trace, yeah.
Trace
is a solid counter. Even Xayah, just with her shields alone, if you hit anyone with corruption, she could just sap some damage off you, some free damage. Oh, look, there's a guy taking DOT. I think Lucio even hurts Gul'dan. Just his little bunt that will take him out of a lifesteal. Just ever since Tracer came in and with the rest of the Overwatch heroes, I really got put off him. But this map is a good map for him. I mean, obviously with the Guardians and the massive AoE, it's hard to look past him. I think, again, it's sort of going to come down to the draft, though. Is he going to be a viable character to play? Wouldn't first pick him. I mean, especially, and if they're going to even consider an Abathur Illidan combo again, at least pick them both at the same time. The same thing could apply to Gul'dan here. We'll have to see.
I mean, the nano boost, is good. We haven't really seen much Anna in competitive HotS since her birth into the game. Having said that, she didn't come out until a little bit later on. But that nano boost, the spell power increase is nuts. I've seen Jaina's do ridiculous amounts of damage. I've seen anybody, and Gul'dan as well. I mean, if you can complete either of your talents, they're all viable, the Fell Flame or the Corruption, and then you get nano boosted, you are dealing chunks.
Yeah, definitely. I have seen Fell Flame Gul'dan with a nano boost before, and it is considerably devastating. As long as he's not facing someone who can shut him down. But yeah, again, down to the draft, I guess. It's if you do want to team up like that, pick it both at the same time, guys.
So just waiting for the lads to get into the lobby, ladies and gents. Thanks again for joining us. It is game number 3 of Eggplant versus Onyx. Getting a bit on in the night too. It's been good games so far. It's been very, very good games.
Yeah, very solid play.
Yeah, right from the draft. I mean, you can see both these two teams inside each other's heads.
A lot of them know each other quite well as well, I think. So I get the feeling that they might sort of see something. I don't want to take away from the intelligent sort of countering that we have seen because it's been revealed. I think in both matches, something of their plan has been revealed a little bit and the other team has responded. But they do know each other quite well. They're imagining what each player is saying to the others. So, I mean, I love that sort of additional touch that it gives when the players do know each other.
Yeah, I think we will see a Gul'dan on this map. He's excellent taking out the Guardians on those shrines. There's only a few heroes that really excel at it and do it for not too much cost. And of course, Gul'dan, he doesn't have to go back ever really. He can just sit there draining health, life tapping. It's endless. Alright, so we've got everyone set up for this game 3. The decider. Who will be the ultimate Eggplant?
What?
You were Eggplant versus Onyx. Game 3, let's do it.
All right, ladies and gents, let's take some votes in the chat. Who are you going for? Is your support behind Onyx Esports, or are you waving that big purple vegetable eggplant around? Who do you want to come out on top here? It's currently 1 apiece, and honestly, I can't pick one. If you had to ask me, I honestly couldn't do it. I feel like Eggplant had a poor draft last game, but I also feel like Onyx played very, very well. I mean, they could have easily got snowballed and mown down, but they were skilled enough to be able to adapt.
Yeah, it's very important getting ahead of that Abatha and the XP lead and getting to 10 before the other team and just capitalizing on that numbers advantage. They're pretty much 4v5 until level 10 if he picks up the clone. And if you can get them before they get to that level 10 point, you can really capitalize on that for the rest of the game.
Onyx just need to remember what Konya was able to do on the ETC last time he played him. Remember, this map is very, very good for a mosh pit. Even a stage dive can close the gap here. So, will Onyx be able to remember? That's what I want to see. Or will they take it away from Eggplant? Will they pinch it and use it as their own? I mean, Arthas is another good tank that comes into his own here. Anything that can deal AoE damage and control choke points. Again, Naz is another one, which is fantastic on this map. Tassadar with the Psystorms. There's so much potential for Infernal Shrines. I love it.
That first ban coming through now from Onyx is Genji. Don't want that die. So we might see a fragile mage come through from Onyx here. Or maybe they just don't like Genji. They're both options. We've got the Garrosh hover here from Eggplant. They do not want to deal with him.
Ooh, now they're thinking about the Sonya.
Oh, we've lost KitFox. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, no, I was around. A ghost opened my door, and I
Nice.
thought a ghost. The house is haunted, man. Telling you.
So you've now swapped webcam position with Ag. So you're now Agamemnus, and Agamemnus is now KitFox. So look, I don't know which one of you got more handsome, but you know.
Oi, don't start that.
Oh, hold the phone,
yes.
boys.
First time is not banned. He gets picked.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting. Burns is a little bit upset that his Sonya was taken away there.
Yeah, sad face in the chat from Burnsy.
But ETC locked in. Onya, he's on, boys. It is on.
ETC and Uther. It is very much a
they've got it going on again.
First game.
Well,
I'm not sure who the Genji ban was against. Maybe it was just a general one, but I think they did forget about that ETC.
But they picked up Garrosh, and that's smart because that would have been the first thing they were thinking about. They would have thought Garrosh has fallen through. Eggplant have the first pick, the first double pick. They can easily combo that one up if they went through, say, a Garrosh and then somebody with the stun. It's straight up. Even Garrosh Uther can destroy anybody. So I see why they picked up the Garrosh there. But now, Eggplant, they've locked in that ETC again. We know what Konya's able to do on that. We know how choke point heavy Infernal Shrines is, especially around those objectives, around those shrines. You're going to need something to be able to control team fights and knock down shrines at the same time. ETC does exactly that.
Yeah, he does. So far, look, I think it's pretty solid picks all round. Even the Vala's got a little bit of utility taking down those Guardians. Same with the Rhaegar, the Lightning Shield. not as good. Wait, no, it's I don't know, the slow. I mean, I think you'd prefer to see an Uther with the Garrosh, but a Rhaegar with the Garrosh still has that slow totem, so you definitely can trap people quite nicely. And the Ancestral Healing is phenomenal for Mr. Garrosh there as well, so that's going to synergize.
Got a Li Ming band coming through from Eggplant. They're hovering Tass for a while there, but they decided on the Li Ming the last 10-15 seconds.
Tess would have been a good ban. I mean, he does combo pretty well with Rhaegar. That Force Wall, again, with how narrow these choke points are on Infernal Shrines, can separate a team. It can split them straight down the middle. And that would have been a fantastic ban, but he's still available now for Onyx to pick. But I feel like they could use another damage dealer. I mean, we saw what the solo Valor did for Eggplant. It wasn't much. So I feel like they do need a little bit more of a presence there. It's currently their ban, and there's a lot that Eggplant need. There is a lot still available for them to pick up here. They could still go for another support. They've got damage dealers of their own. Will Onyx actually target a damage dealer? Will they go Gul'dan or Greymane? There it is. That's not bad.
Yeah, of course, they already have that auto attack damage from the Valor. They lose nothing from banning that Greymane. They might even pick up a mage here. They did ban that Genji earlier, so they can take a squishy with them. We'll see what Eggplant picks here.
Oh, the tension mounting.
We don't have any big AoE damage from Eggplant yet, so these last three picks, they're really going to have to pick something.
On the cards, KT, yeah.
Gul'dan, Kael'thas, Kel'Thuzad, Jaina, all these mages. My eyes are like dinner plates.
They have banned the Li Ming already, of course. Her orb not as effective on the Guardians, just because as soon as it contacts something, it explodes. It's not like KT, you can just kind of cast in the middle of them. We've got a Zul'jin and Lucio coming through.
So that opens the door for Eggplant's last pick. There's a lot there. They could go for any of those champions we just mentioned. I feel like it will be a mage, just because they are missing a lot of that burst. Zul'jin is their shredder. He's going to be able to lock down the Valor or the Rhaegar. That'll be his priority targets here at the moment. And he can burst down the shrines as well. But they're going to need massive AoE. I expect a Kael'thas or a Gul'dan, something like that. Something that is just able to roll face. I mean, Lunara, if you go for the Thornwood Vine, but again, that you don't get that till level 10. And they've already got their solo dealer with the Zul'jin. Now it's over to Onyx. They've got a double pick. Who do you think they're going to go for, Ag?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you at this point. They could still be thinking about a double healer. There's the area damage, KT. And the tank, and a second tank. Okay, so I think that's pretty well balanced, actually, that team right now.
Yeah. Garrosh to pull them in. They've got some slows. They've got some stuns from KT. It's looking like a pretty good team. Lots of disables.
Could we see a specialist? Maybe a Zagara. Gazlo, maybe, is one that comes to mind. I don't want to say Murky, but on Infernal Shrines, probably one of the only maps you would see him on. Surprises. I mean, you went the Abathur build. Nobody was expecting the Abathur. Pull out a Murloc, friend. I mean, just for the lulz. There is a bit on the line. I mean, it's bragging rights, right? These two teams, they play with each other every single day. And just to walk past each other and go, remember that scrim we had last night? Yep, it was damn fun. That's something special.
Rhinosaurus is predicting a Gazlo.
Please do. 2 seconds.
Coming down to the last second. A Malthael.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good for point control. Good to fight around around those shrines. But
I feel like Eggplant's really missing that strong AoE damage on the Guardian.
I do too. But they've got the team fight. They don't have objective as much. Once they get to level 10, then they can start to sort of make their presence known a little bit more. But looking at their early game, it's not good. So Onyx need to take that into account. They need to stamp their authority on this early on and squash Eggplant down. Get themselves another 2 to 3 level advantage like they did in that previous map. and just avalanche from there. Not snowball, avalanche.
Yeah, look, that Uther has a lot of choice when it comes to his ultimate, getting that Divine Shield down on Zul'jin or ETC doing a mosh. So they've got a few options when it comes to team fights, so that's my bad.
Bet your fat fingers coming into play there.
Ooh.
Oh, hang on. What's going on? So you accidentally paused, and then someone DC'd, and they want to pause.
They want to pause.
Right.
Make up
Okay.
your
Oh, no, guys.
I actually predicted that one.
You preempted
Who
the
left?
That was
Who left?
AC having a bit of trouble.
AC's lagging on Onyx, and Eggplant reckons one of them left.
I'm going to go suss it out.
And I think it might be Konya, because the rest of them have spoken. Oh no, we've got... Who are we missing? Let's see, KitFox, it's not a UA HotS event, unless there's at least one pause.
Oh, so it's not a competitive ANZ HotS match without a 3-2-3. The good old 3-2-3 meta. Oh, I remember. Do you remember Twitch chat? Do you remember when Uther had 10 armor? You would laugh at.
What's the go at?
So they said, so Eggplant said they're good.
Okay.
And Konya's talking in chat now, so.
Classic Konya. So just asking the question now. Good work, Naked. Good work, Naked. So what are you tonight? You're caster, producer, and admin.
Yes.
Dr. Octopus, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, not as talkative tonight, but look, it's a good test for the Clash of the Clans coming up in the next 2 weeks. First official announcement of that. We've got a break here, so if you guys are around on Sunday the 17th, I think we're starting around what time was it, Ag? 7:30 daylight time. The details will be out early next week. Alright, we're good to go. We're back in. Crazy Dave's counting down to the negative numbers. We're good to go.
Whoa, hang on. He's gone into the negatives. Damn. Too soon, man. It's too advanced for me. Here we go. Alright, ladies and gents, get the hype up. The pauses are done. It's game number 3. It's 1v1 in the series at the moment. Eggplant took map number 1. Onyx took game number 2. Here we go. This is the decider. Game number 3 on Infernal Shrines, and Eggplant and Onyx. They try to get the cheeky twin axes off to start things off. Birdsey, good. Howling Blast collects 3. AC the man with the Wrecking Ball Groundbreaker combo. Unfortunately, he grabbed Konya of all people, the big bulky ETC, and narrowly escapes with his life.
Yeah, both teams trying to soak as many stacks as they can on their many quests they have. Zul'jin getting some good hits on the... Got 3 stacks on the Frost Presence on the Arthur's side.
AC is connecting these Groundbreakers. Just didn't have the
Sporange in trouble.
That one there. He manages to get away. Rotation down now into the bot lane. Another Groundbreaker from AC, narrowly missing again. So this is going to be a battle of the tanks here. Will it be Konya with those massive, massive power slide face melts, or will it be AC with the Groundbreaker Wrecking Ball into the Warlords challenge? That is going to be that's going to be the turning point here, boys.
I dare say he's probably going to take Taunt for his ulti as well.
Looks like Eggplant's looking for a 4-man rotation on top and bot. They have they're rotating down for that wave now. They're not going to miss out on XP, but they're looking for the gank on Grum.
Grum shot now, he's in a lot of trouble. There's 4 men down there, and here come the boys! Onyx just in the nick of time. No, Merlin with that Lucio on Grumshot's own favourite. Just manages to get the kill there, so well done. First kill going over to Eggplant, but it's not all sour grapes because it's before the first Shrine phase, and it's only a slight advantage here. Onyx, even though they did get picked there, they still do have the level advantage, so regardless, they're still in the driver's seat here. This soak game is good, Agmemnus. Now the Shrine gets popped and Eggplant get working.
Yeah, Onyx is slightly ahead on the XP, even though they took the loss, the first blood. I mean, Eggplant's already up to 8 minion kills. Onyx still looking for a kill there. The might get crazy though.
He's in trouble. He gets hit by that combo we were talking about, and the living bomb just explodes him. There's troll ash everywhere all over here on Infernal Shrines at the moment. And Onyx, now they've got the advantage here. Burnsy is doing work there on the Arthas, but Arthas, there's one thing we know about him, and that is that he has mana problems, especially if you don't spec into the Frostmourne build. He has gone for Frost Presence as well. So, Burnsy, gonna struggle a little bit here. Howling Blast again, throw it out. This time, lands on Stocky on the Uther, so just letting him know he's about. Again, the engage comes in. The Shrine is currently at 29 in favour of the Onyx lads. They need 10 more now, and that is a fantastic gravity lapse there from Fish to disengage. AC is going to get caught out though, tries the Bloodthirst, it heals up, it's not going to be enough, and all of a sudden this seesaw of a fight is just, it's turned on its head again, Ag.
Yeah, and already up to the 30s. Oh, Eggplant only needs 5 more to secure that Punisher. Garrosh still about to respawn. All done.
Great pick up there on the Punisher. We've got the Mortar one this time around for Eggplant. They're pushing down that middle lane. Malthael's split off to top. We've got Onyx splitting to all 3 lanes. Uther's going down to bottom to counter that push. That Punisher dropping very quickly to Onyx.
Yeah, well done of Onyx there to actually leech that Punisher away. So they stayed behind the wall, let him leap, and then it was just easy pickings from there, as it usually is with the first one. But poor old Kael'thas down in the bottom lane was just not prepared for the 4-man Eggplant push coming down there on the rotation. So he has been taken out at 6 to 6 in terms of levels for 4 minutes and 13 seconds left. Sorry, not left. Currently into this game. That would be disappointing if there was only 4 minutes left. God damn, I want somebody to come out on top here. And at the moment, it's going to be Eggplant. They siege the bottom down. They've got 1 tower now, hunting for the second. Grumshot rotates as does Shardstorm. And Kale all the way back from the spawn, the Fish, with a lot of ground to cover. He gets there just in the nick of time.
Yeah, they do have that strong presence down in bottom lane. Uther's moving back up to mid to try and retain that XP lead they've got going on. Malthael and Arthur's still going at it up top. Malthael looking a bit low on mark.
Konya with the power slide, that's what we're talking about. Oh, great cleanse there from Grumshot, but Shardstorm is going to fall to the combined might of the Eggplant players. That is what we're talking about. That's why you ban ETC away from Konya. That's why he picked up the MVP vote for the first round, ladies and gentlemen. And Onyx now on the back foot.
Yeah, the Lucio speed boost is helping him out a little bit here. I saw Merlin got a kill on Grump earlier on, and I think just then with the chase down through the Grump shot slow, through the totem slow, that enabled them to secure the kill just then.
So now the potential steal is on here for Eggplant. They need to be careful though, because they have been spotted by Fish and the rest of Onyx. In goes the Flame Strike. Not going for Convection, actually going for Mana Addict as well. Interesting to note there for Kael'thas. But they're going to gift that one over there to Eggplant. The Khazra is now going to be taken. And Onyx just playing a little bit passively here at the moment as the power slide goes in. Konya with another fantastic face melt and does exactly that. Melts the face off of Valor. And now they're going to lose another one here. And Onyx caught leg before, ladies and gents. 9 to 8 on the level. And now that EXP lead is climbing. The second Shrine phase is on and Eggplant well in control. Again, Burnsy. The wheels are just falling off the Onyx bandwagon here at the moment, Ag.
Yeah, the little bunting from Merlin on Lucio plus the face melt from Konya on ETC, it's just a little bit too disruptive for him. Like I thought Burnsy was going to get away just then, but the 2 of them, and they're timing it well as well. One goes in, they all body block, and then when he's going to get away, the other one does their knockback, and they all body block again, gives them plenty of time to dish out enough damage to secure the kill.
ETC has actually picked up Echo Pedal here as a level 7 talent as well, so he's getting 2 bursts of damage every time he uses an ability.
Onyx, of course, opted to soak all 3 lanes there, try and get some XP back. They've got a little bit, but that Arcane Punisher coming through top now. AC, the man's in trouble, he drops to 5 man. the 5-man and the Punisher, unfortunately.
So this is where Eggplant can be dangerous. Crazy Dave utilising that Amani Rage there on the Zul'jin. Quick burst damage, need to get that tower down. The keep down, and they are going to do so. And Onyx, they have left with no other option than to soak. You've got Burnsy down in the bot lane doing exactly that. They should stick somebody in the middle lane as well because they need that level 10. But they also need bodies up the top here just to try and stop this push from the Eggplant. In goes the Punisher, and it's doing work here. Vela has been taken down from Zul'jin, picking up the kill there. Guillotine. Often a couple patches ago, it was Tazdingo was the only thing that we saw. Finally, level 10 has now been picked up here from the Onyx lads. The mosh pit goes in with a Divine Shield, and Onyx just drop like flies to a can of Mortine. They are destroyed here on Infernal Shrines, and almost a level of the second phase Punisher almost got the keep himself.
Yeah, very good push from Eggplant here. They've been getting the picks, of course. They had that heroic advantage and the numbers advantage. Burnsy, of course, still pushing through bottom. They do get that keep, and they're looking to back out before they outstay their welcome.
Burnsy popping the hearth, he needs to boogie on out of there. It is 12-11 in terms of levels, and it's just climbing here for Eggplant. They just keep soaking up that EXP. Onyx need to do exactly what they did on the previous map, and that is play the macro game, the long game. They need to win this one on the field, not in the team fights.
Yeah, look, 100% agree. Eggplant's just about to get their level 13 talents. It's going to be another minute before Onyx gets theirs. And, I mean, the minion waves, they're pretty much centered right now, apart from top, which is a little bit towards Onyx side. But I feel like a team fight is inevitable. The talent advantage is definitely gonna hurt Onyx.
So they set themselves to the soak game. Yeah, sorry, Egg.
They still have that 2-level deficit to deal with on Onyx, and the talent, of course.
Will they catch Sporage? No, they don't, because the unstoppable from Malfield gets away. But
great pull from Garrett.
Abilities are going to be enough, yeah.
And that is perfect timing. 20 seconds from now for the Malthael respawn. They're going to try and put some damage out onto this fort. But Eggplant's responding with a fort of their own in mid.
They've realized
try and get another pick before they engage on the objective.
They do have that Merc camp up at top, though. It's I think it's one of the best Merc camps in the game, just constantly respawning. Yep. If the towers and forts don't hit it, it's just going to keep going. Unfortunately, it does go down, though.
Third Shrine phase underway, and Onyx, they get to work. They're ploughing down here like the 7 dwarves, except there's 5 of them and there's less hair. Now AC, the man, is taking a lot of damage there in the on the front line. There was no support at all. Warlord's challenge actually collected 4 players there, and there was just no follow-up at all from the rest of Onyx, and now they're going to be doing it without one of their tanks. In goes the Phoenix from Kael'thas. Allah comes down and will drop his ashes all over this shrine. There's that's what we were talking about, the big mosh coming out, but the cleanse from Grumshot is good. The fish able to get away there. In comes the guillotine, and Stossi actually manages to secure the kill there. So good to see the supports getting in on the board. And Onyx now, they lose Valor, they lose Kael'thas, basically all of their damage and any chance they had at taking this Punisher.
Yeah, definitely going to struggle to come back from this now. The Malthael is actually doing quite well. Obviously, the percentage health dot on Garrosh is giving him a little bit of a hand, but I saw the fish was trying to get away on KT, but you just can't escape the Malthael. He's a little bit too sticky with his W.
We've finally got the talents coming through on Onyx for level 13. They're going to be just in time for defending his Frozen Punisher coming through that bottom gate on the key. We do have Burnsy soaking mid. He's going to try and back up now, come back for the defense. Eggplant about to hit their level 16 talents.
That will give them a massive, massive power spike. Another Phoenix coming up, so Kael'thas making quick use of that Phoenix on the 1-minute cooldown. You may as well do so. And in goes Burnsy. Ancestral goes in. They lose Lucio, so Eggplant now are struggling. This is where Onyx are able to backhand Sporridge gets caught in the Howling Blast. Needs to be careful. Konya misses the power slide. Lands the face mount. AC just getting the heals he needs from Bloodburst. The Invulnerable now coming out. And the souls are just being soaked up. And I feel like the shield may have been used a little bit prematurely there now. Malthael trying to get away with his active is unable to do so. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, ladies and gentlemen, there are 4 Ballistae going hammer and tong on the core.
Yeah, I don't think Onyx has realised yet. Shardstorm just teleported back to deal with them. Looks like they're going to try and take that bottom camp, get a bit push through that bottom lane. Crazy Dave and Stocky taking that camp on the left. Or Stocy, as we say in Twitch chat.
I really must confirm that with him one day. Everybody says it a little bit different.
They do.
Stocky, Stokey, Stocy.
He's a man of many faces. Depends on the mood he's feeling. So they're going to take the top camp. So the Shaman's now going over to Onyx Esports. They need that in their life at the moment. They need something to soak up the pressure that is just being poured onto them here by Eggplant. They've nearly hit that level 16 talent tier. Once they get that, they'll be in a pretty good position. Eggplant need to force a fight here. They need to realize how far ahead they are and what talent tier Onyx don't have. Here they go. Crazy Dave actually catches Burnsy out with twin axes. In goes Konya. Oh, but a great Rain of Vengeance goes in and AC displaces him. There is a mosh pit, collects 2. Shardstorm gets cleansed out of it. Ancestral is big! And AC, the man, survives, but that Ancestral is not going to be enough. He lost 2 completely full health bars in the space of 5 seconds, and Eggplant, that is how you team fight. They didn't get the squishies, but they got the tank, and the rest are soon to follow. There goes KitFox. There goes Vela. Burnsy is going to fall if he's not careful as well. Oh, he just gets away. And this is where Eggplant flex their muscles. They've got Onyx in a sleeper hold, and they're slowly lowering them down.
Oh, Guillotine just missing grub. Great predict, but not quite.
Oh, that was hectic. I couldn't believe that Garros still died. They were outputting so much damage. That Zul'jin was going nuts.
Apparently, it's Stocky.
Again, depends who you ask, I suppose.
Yeah, that's what Tomato says.
Yeah. What does Tomato say? What about tomato?
That's what Blank says.
And what about potato? They all say different things. 33 little dudes as they've been crowned by Vandy and Skimmy here on the Infernal Shrines. They get Frozen Punisher. Sorry, Arcane Punisher. We just had the Frozen. Arcane's going to come out and beat his chest. John Cena comes out onto the field, and there is already 1 keep down for Onyx. They cannot afford to lose another 100% now on this Punisher. They need to get it over the wall and shred it. Shred it like a slow-cooked beef brisket. Here they go. He goes over the wall. In goes the Phoenix. And that's just going to create the zone there that they need, and already Punisher down to 50% HP, standing in the AoE. But now the gate has been knocked down. Howling Blast collects 2. But Onyx, they really don't want to engage. They are on even talent tiers at the moment, so they've got the best chance that they've ever had all game. Oh, but the damage is good. Gravity Labs actually collects. Konya there gets flipped back over into the corner. He's going to go down. No, the Divine Shield into the smosh. It collects 3. The Cleanse grabs 1, but KitFox gets destroyed. The Ancestral is too slow to save Arthas there, and this should be GG, ladies and gentlemen. Konya again on the back of some monstrous mosh pits are going to get this one here, but are they going to be able to clear this one out? Now they've lost Malthael. They're not going for the core. They're going for the players. Come on, guys. Priorities. They're hunting Grumpshot and not the core at all. I feel like they could have finished this a lot easy. Crazy Dave knows what's up. He's sitting there just on the core, just left-clicking for days. And I almost feel like Eggplant are just toying with their food here. Eventually, Onyx get taken down there, but you got to be careful when you do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's risky, and if Shardstorm had have got a lethal hit on the Zul'jin there, that could have spelled a little bit of trouble. Yeah. But no, they managed to finish it off. Yeah.
Captain Hindsight, I suppose, isn't it? Could have, should have, but in the end, Eggplant come out with the victory. But that is it. That's the best of 3 series, and Eggplant with the victors, and Ag we have to pick an MVP, I believe.
Yeah, we do. Look, at one point, I definitely had my eye on the mouth, but look, I think the Zul'jin put the damage exactly where it counted in every team fight. He was always focusing the right person. Only died once. Malthael died 3 times. I mean, look at that siege damage as well. I don't know how he got that much. Is that just from shooting the towers, shooting the guardians?
Probably going hammer and tong on the core there at the end as well.
Yeah.
But Zul'jin just he gets it done. He gets it done. So, Naked, who are you thinking?
Look, it was a pretty great play from Eggplant. I think they picked a much better comp this time around. They had that Uther. He had the choices on Divine Shield. He had the Konya Mosh Pits, Crazy Dave on Zul'jin. He picked up Guillotine. He didn't have that fallback of Tazdingo. So there was always the option of Divine Shielding him. Shout out to Grump Shot on Rhaegar though. He only died once throughout that entire game. He had great positioning. Few good Ancestrals coming through. Unfortunately, the damage output from Eggplant was just insane, especially on the tanks. They've got that Malthael and the Zul'jin just hammering into them. Look,
yeah, watching Garish's health go down from full to empty, Ancestral
Twice.
to empty.
Yeah. That was insane. I couldn't believe that. AC just didn't know what hit him. Got completely blindsided there. But I'm gonna go pure stats here. I'm gonna have to give my vote to Crazy Dave. 142,000 siege damage, and almost the most hero damage as well. Only behind Malthael by about 1,000. So he gets my vote. Well done to Crazy Dave. How about yours, Zag?
You know what? I feel like Crazy Dave. I've just noticed KT and Vala both outdamaged him, but I don't know if it's just. I mean, if it was damage spread over too much time, because the Lucio obviously is just going to keep them up at full health. If you don't wipe them out, they're just going to come back. So, I mean, despite them having more damage, I guess you could almost say it wasn't damage that actually gave them results. Whereas, I mean, the Zul'jin, I honestly really did notice that it just constantly felt like he was hitting the right target. He was hitting the target that they wanted to go down, that everyone was trying to persist on. He wasn't just sort of aiming at the easy target or the safe target or anything like that, which is something that I'm personally not a fan of. I don't like damage dealers who play it safe when, there's a target that needs to be killed. So kudos to Crazy Dave from me.
Yeah, no, well done, Dave. I didn't say anyone yet, but we had some insane healing coming through from Eggplant. Grump Shot just couldn't keep up on the solo heal. That double heal meta we spoke about earlier really came into force here, and it really allowed those 2 damage dealers on Eggplant. They didn't go 1 this time. They learnt their lesson, and it paid off. And look, they've taken the night, and well played to them. Well done, Crazy Dave, MVP.
Well done, Crazy Dave. A couple of people in chat are asking for the talent screen. If you could just give them a look. Yeah, there you go. You must have seen that.
Well, no, there's a delay. I have been swapping between them, but
there you go.
Yeah. So a few people asking about Echo Pedal. There was a bit of a discussion in Twitch chat earlier. He has a fair few good picks ECC on that level 7 tier.
He does, as GL Phoenix pointed out. You can go for, I believe there's one where you get extra damage on Face Melt. But, why not get extra damage on all your abilities, which I think was actually said in the chat, which is...
Yeah, I think that's what I was
thinking. Which is exactly what I was thinking. I mean, if you're going to go for extra damage on somebody who's been power slid, what happens if you miss the power slid? I mean, the power slide, not everybody is a god. Even Konya himself missed a couple in there. So it was good to go for the Echo Pedal, I reckon. And it's like Bronze Talons. Up until we saw it in high-level play, I honestly never gave that talent a look in. I was always a deep breathing kind of guy. And then since then, they just get unearthed. And I think Echo Pedal might be one of those.
Yeah, Bronze Talon is definitely a strong talent. I found it can be punished by Garrosh, but everyone always bans Garrosh, so you never see it.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, well played to both teams, UA Eggplant and Onyx. we'll see them potentially fight it out again at the next Clash of the Clans tournament coming up on Sunday the 17th. Watch out for the announcement early next week, and I hope to see you there. I'd like to put a very big thank you out to KitFox coming on as a guest caster. You've been excellent. We've learned a lot from you tonight, and look,
Thanks, man.
we hope to have you back sometime.
Pleasure, man. I would love to be back. It was fantastic. You guys have been great. The chat's been great. I mean, everybody's been super friendly, and it's a great community you guys have got here. You're definitely going to be getting a bit more love from me.
Yay,
Awesome.
love.
Any final words?
I'm very, very proud of those matches. I thought they were quite entertaining matches. I've seen plenty of close matches, and a close match is always better than a face roll. But sometimes the close matches are just sort of wait for it. This team won the team fight, and they steamroll the rest of the match. Whereas these matches, I thought, they had a little bit more character to them, a little bit more substance than some of the other ones I've seen. And I'm a big fan. Very, very, very happy to see it. I thought that was spectacular.
Quick shout out to Ashen5 or Ashen V for the 45 bits as well for the cheer. Thank you so much. That's
Thank
awesome.
you, Ash.
Glad you've had a fantastic night, and there's plenty more. There's plenty more coming. I can't wait for Clash.
Yeah, get excited. The hype is real.
All right, guys, we'll call it up there. But until next time.